This project began over a year ago and shows thousands of game days. Each time I finally get the last item for my block museum, well, it was time for a new update or a new drop with new items to loot, craft, collect. Anyway, this museum is the reason why I spent hours finding all the collectibles, and the block museum in Minecraft has to be always a work in progress. I knew the museum had to be expandable, so I decided to build the underground with a spiral staircase leading to all the galleries. I'm gonna use this pattern of white concrete, quartz pillars, bomb blocks and prismarine walls. This is bringing back memories of the times I dried an ocean monument, but anyway, it's easier using the powder and later I will turn it into concrete. We are in the main hall of the museum. Of course, it will be deeper than that, but for now, let's set up the spiral staircase. The staircase will go down for a quarter of the circle, leading to the next hall.
If you wanna know how I do it, if you search for a new cool idea, here she is. Min my MC, the best place to be. Building brick by brick, with a little chic, mountain high or never deep. All you villagers and pillagers, she's gonna show the craft to the secrets of Minecraft. Assembling, creating, and waiting for the new update. Don't be a creeper, if you like what you see, raise your hand.
All the 10 galleries of the museum will be different in size and decorations, but with a similar design. The blocks will be in the center of the room, and in the display cases, the roof is made of snow blocks to have a different shade of white than concrete. This gallery has windows, but the others will be built deeper. This gallery is the tree yard, the wood blocks room. I'm creating an axolotl pool right above it. Any chance you guys give me a blue baby? I guess not. I want to finish the building before placing the blocks, and for now I'm using placeholders. Let's add some decorations on the 3 empty spaces behind me. This is the wood gallery, so let me have some fun with this tiny reconstruction of a jungle biome. Well, this is to remember how we built custom cherry trees before the 1.20 update. I covered the pit with a glass roof and I got back to dig. I already know that this will be my favorite gallery. It's the color factory, and all the colored blocks and items will fill these empty quartz tables. For now, let's decorate the walls. It took me 200 days to dig and decorate all the galleries, but there's where the fun part begins, the quest for blocks. So keep watching, and if you enjoyed the video so far, consider leaving a like and subscribing. It's free and it helps me a lot. Finding and crafting all the blocks and items was supposed to be a few days' work, but it turned out to be harder than I anticipated. I started by mining for ancient debris and crafting all the netherite tools and armor before the 1.20 update, so they wouldn't be too expensive. Then I spent an entire afternoon getting hit by goats, breeding them until I got the screaming ones that hit me even more, but finally dropped all the horns that I needed. Yeah, it wasn't my brother's moment. The next day, I moved to collect old discs dropped by creeper hit by skeleton, but you can find all the details in a previous video. After the 1.20 update, I went a bit crazy for a whole month, chasing all the sherds, armor trims and new items, brushing every corner of my world and opening hundreds of chests everywhere. Collecting the sherds was a lot of fun. Check the video about the sherds to know all about it. Then I got busy looting ancient cities, fleeing without shame every time I accidentally spawned a warden. I explored one ancient city after another. It took me 2 real-life days, dozens of night vision potions, but I checked off the list the echo shards to craft the recovery compass, the disc fragments for the music disc 5, the ward armor trim, and finally the silent trim. But the 1.20 update had another important item, probably one of the hardest to get. I trapped a couple of creepers and some piglins on both sides of a portal and waited for the right moment. I needed a thunderstorm. But every time, the storm didn't last. I tried for weeks, until one day, on Christmas Day, another thunderstorm came. In hindsight, I should have used another portal to get to the charger creeper, but I was so excited and tired of waiting that I didn't think about it. Look, I will quickly pick up flint and steel in my hand, without realizing that all it takes to make the creeper explode is me. I respawned and got back there immediately. I lost most of my equipment, but instead I found... Look at me, how do I look? Ugly, I know, but behind this ugly face, I'm so happy! It was the hardest item, but it wasn't the last one. I wanted the suspicious blocks. Suspicious blocks can be get with Silk Touch, but I found this trick with a cobweb on internet. The first attempt went badly. Then I realized I should clear another block under the cobweb, and everything went smoothly. Look at me flexing, with 2 blocks of suspicious gravel at a time. The same trick works for suspicious sand. That was satisfying. I need a new beacon for the museum and another nether star to put on display, so I'm gonna summon the Wither 2 times. And create these snow golems all around the chamber, but they won't cause any damage to the big fella. Yeah, let's pretend I know what I'm doing. Please don't say, under the bedrock? Come on, this is how my mother plays Minecraft, because, yes, this is how Mima plays Minecraft. Oh, it's working! The Wither is killing the snowmen and they're dropping Wither roses. Go, my fierce warriors, sacrifice, fight for me! Oh man, I sent these guys to die and they're looking at me with puppy eyes. It's time to spare some of them. It's finally time to fill all the galleries. I'll start from my favorite one, the Color Factory, with all the colored blocks. Each of these shulker boxes contains all blocks of its color. These are all the white ones. Yes, even the white leather armor and the white firework star. I'm amazed. I love it. Candles, glass and terracotta have also the neutral version. Let's not forget about the shulker box. There is nothing rare or precious in this room, but it's impressive anyway. Now follow me to another gallery, the tree yard, for all the wood blocks. Let's start with all the saplings, from the bright birch to the dark oak, and then the nether wood blocks. This is the row of the birch blocks. No, I didn't place the same blocks by mistake. See? Stripped log and wood. Now the leaves and all the other blocks. I didn't forget about the boats and the chest boats. The mine always smaller and contains, yeah, you guessed it, all items you can mine, not just the ores, but also the ingots or the material in a frame, and the relative block. With the raw version, when there's one. The gallery contains also iron and gold items, obsidian, dripstone, nether ore, and amethyst. I know, there's one block missing, the deep slate emerald ore, the rarest ore in Minecraft. All emeralds can be found only about level -16 and only in certain biomes, but you need to be around Y0 to have the deep slate one. Up until that point, I had never found a deep slate emerald ore in survival. Therefore, I reached level Y4 in a meadow biome and started to moss mining. Ores aren't turned into moss while everything else is, so this is actually a nice trick. It took me 3 hours to reach level -1, and I was honestly pretty bored when finally... Oh my, is that? And us too! I did it! The legends were true, I found it! So I double-checked that I had a silk touch pickaxe and I mined it. I was almost surprised when I got the new recipe message. It was the very first time I had that block in my inventory. Here we are. Let's take a deep breath and... there. Oh, I can't believe my eyes! Look how beautiful they are from above. From the side, oh, you're so gorgeous I could kiss you. This gallery was called Mine and Craft. Clever, huh? Please say it's clever. Anyway, the craft hall is for the stone blocks with all their variants. This room is not one of the coolest. The blocks are quite common, but they're like the basic ingredients for all the Minecraft builds that we love to create. It's like a box full of colorful Legos. This was filmed in January. I was waiting for the 1.21 update and I left some room for the tough and copper variants. The Ice and Fire Hall is about... no, not dragons and family issues, but, well, ice and fire, or snow, ice and lava blocks, plus the light blocks. It's the smallest gallery, but the most dangerous one. Things can melt or burn and everything must be playing carefully. The snow layer and the ice are far enough from any light source. Now the fire side of the gallery with all the red fires and the soul blue version. More lights in this display, and there, 2 very special blocks. The regular fire and the soul fire with some glass, so children won't get hurt. Well, if that happens, then don't blame me. The Botanic Garden is the gallery with all plant-related items and blocks, from the overworld to the end, the flowers, the crops, but also the different kind of soil. But first, look what I got! A large fern and a tall grass. These items can be obtained in survival. If you cut them, you get 2 ferns or short grass. But no, I didn't cheat. They can be found in village chests. Let's put them on display as a special decoration. This hall was a bit tricky to plan because we have to respect the needs of each different plant, like in a real botanic garden. Cacti grow only on sand. Coral needs water to stay alive. I'm also displaying different stages of the plant when possible. Strings at different heights prevent bamboo from growing. It's a nice trick for decorating too. Sugarcane needs water, so instead of hiding it, I'm using it to display lily pad and drip leaf, the big and the small one. How did I get small drip leaf? From a wandering trader. Can you believe that sometimes those guys are useful? The soil display is nice and tricky too. Beyond the first rows of blocks there's water, so the farmland will stick. The grass block is far from the dirt, so it won't spread, and the snow shouldn't melt, so we can have the snowy grass block too. The 3 tables in the center have a row of waterlogged slabs, so every coral will stay alive and bright, while the same coral block placed next to it is doomed to die. Hey, I know coral is not a plant, but it behaves like a plant in Minecraft, so this is where it belongs. I love the vibe of the botanic garden. It feels messy, warm and cozy, different from all the other halls that looks neat but cold. And as plants too. Well, one plant until the end update that we are all waiting for. I want to display all blocks of this plant, the stem and the chorus flower, in both versions, dead and alive. But in survival, the stem is destroyed and eventually drop the fruit, and the dead flower drop the alive version. Let's see if this trick will work. 3 different plants. I'm blocking 2 of them like this, with glass and a temporary block. And now we wait. It took a very long time, but we're finally done. The first flower died without growing, which was exactly what I wanted, and now the dirt can be removed. The stem is actually simple. The plant is grown a bit, but now I'm removing everything except the first stem that won't grow anymore. The last flower can grow under the glass, but it will stay alive forever. Let's not forget about the raw and popped version and the coarse fruit. And this is how we can display a dead flower, a stem and an alive flower in survival. After the botanical garden, there's the natural museum. Right in the center, we will put the precious piglin head that costed me a life. Oh, I hate it, but it makes me so proud. You won't find any stuffed animal in here, because this is the gallery for the mob drops and the related items. The left side of the room is for the good guys. I was totally sure the bee nest was empty. Anyway, these are all the bee-related blocks. And this is when I realized there was a bee roaming in my museum. On the walls, there are the freshly fished buckets, the god ore that were so annoying to get, and the wet and dried sponges. The right side of the room is for the bad guys, the bone-related blocks, the spider items, the ender pearl, you know. Then there's the skulk display. I hate the sound of the sensor, but it has to be here. The shrieker is in a frame because it probably won't spawn the warden if placed here, but it scares the hell out of me, so it stays there. Finally, the pillager outpost and end city banners are here, alongside with the totem of undying. On the other side of the spiral staircase, we got the science museum, the room with all the redstone stuff. Right in the center, that red terracotta is just a placeholder for the crafter, but we have everything else. Will it ever stop? Man, it's driving me crazy. We reached the bottom of the museum with the last 2 galleries and a nice cafe right under the aquarium. The galleries are getting juicier, and here you'll find the most interesting ones. Let's start with the alchemic chamber, where all the potions are displayed. The brewing stands are just a decoration filled with bottles of water. Yeah, we want this place to be safe for visiting children. The alchemic chamber is not a difficult one, but it requires some work. All the potions have to be brewed in the different versions: regular, splash, lingering, and tipped arrow. The spectral arrow is not potion related, but it's a magic arrow, so it fits here. The lingering potions can be used to craft the magic arrows. Oh, they match the color of the potion. They will look awesome in a gallery. Maybe it's needless to say at this point, but I am a big fan of all kinds of museums. I mean the real ones. And now I'm having so much fun building this one. I really like the colors of the potions, even if it was a bit hard to get used to it when they were changed, because now they're more colorful and different from each other and make this gallery even better. Every big museum should have a fancy cafe, and I also needed a place where to put on display all the food items, so the menu board is actually another display case, and you can sit here and chill out enjoying a cookie or a bucket of milk or have lunch with an healthy soup. Hey, there's an enchanted golden apple on the menu. Wow, I told you that this was a fancy cafe. There's the main courses side of the board, and then the cakes. Why 3 cakes? The regular, the sliced, and the birthday cake with a candle. This big hall is the historic museum, with all the blocks that can be interacted with, such as the crafting tables, the villager job stations, and all the weapons, tools, and armors. Man, there's so many different blocks in this gallery. I realized I'm missing the snout pattern. They can be found in the bastions. Now let's get rid of these brutes without any bravery show off. If there are so many piglins, there should be a chest. Better, a double chest. Yeah, the snout pattern, yes. Hey, get off my back, you fool. I'll just grab everything and run. With all the armor stands and the frames, this museum is gonna be so laggy. I hope it's far enough from my base. These are the armors without trims, and I didn't forget about the turtle shell too. The weapons and tools are right beyond the armor stands, and more useful tools are on the other side of the glass display. Then there are the expensive tables like the loathsome and the humble ones, because they deserve a spotlight too. The explosive display? Maybe this place is not that safe after all. Now the map display and the paper and books section. On the other side of the room, we have all the villager-related blocks, the bell and all the job benches. I hope villagers never get down here or it will be a mess. There we are, but where is all the nice and fancy stuff? Wait, maybe it should find its place in the dark room over there? Yeah, we're not done yet. I had the dragon egg in my treasure room since I got it, but now it belongs in the museum. I know that's dupers, but I can see the point of having copies of a block that is supposed to be unique and so meaningful. The vault will display also the armor trims. I'm not gonna flex and craft every armor combination including netherite because, well, nobody cares. Instead, I'm using iron armors which are cheap but also bright, so the trims will stand out. All this work is not just for the museum but also to remember the different armor trim designs. It will be useful in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the vault. This hall has a totally different vibe from the other ones, dark and sophisticated, like the items that are stored here. Each display is telling the story of a struggle or an epic battle, the quest for the netherite, the ocean with the cruel dwellers and its hidden treasures, the end with the mighty dragon. Hear the roar. And the egg she was protecting. Then the wither, who can turn even a gentle rose into a killer. Finally, the end crystal, an item so dangerous that I rather enclose it in a sealed case. The armory is the final room, a special place where to find a sample of each armor trim and experiment with the combinations. It took me a very long time to find all the armor trims and more than 3 stacks of diamonds to craft them. So, this is the moment when I ask you to like the video and maybe subscribe. It took me weeks of gameplay, planning, grinding, building, then more gameplay, planning, grinding. The beacon deserves a special place at the very top of the museum over a diamond block floor, so it can activate. Come on, buddy. Activate and send a blue ray of light to the sky. The museum was done. For a while. And then it was time for the 1.21 update.
If you wanna know how I do it, if you search for a new idea, here she is, here she is. Mima MC, the best place to be. Building brick by brick with a little chic, mountain high or never deep. All you villagers and villagers, she's gonna show the craft to the secrets of Minecraft. Assembling, creating, and waiting for the new update. Don't be a creeper if you like what you see. Raise your hands high and thumbs up for me, my MC.
I filled the museum with the breeze drops, the tough and copper variants, the game-changing crafter, all the new potions, and the 5 bad omen bottles. Then all the sherds, each one with its decorated pot. Aren't they nice? Again, I made a complete guide about sherds and decorated pots. Give it a check. This collection is so awesome. Watch my previous video to know how and where to get them all too. I visited dozens of trial chambers, opened so many ominous vaults when finally the heavy core. Oh, it's so beautiful! Bundles of Bravery was coming soon, so I waited 1 more month for the bundles. I'm really glad they're finally here after all that waiting. I added the bundles next to the colored wolf armors. And again, until the next update, the museum is complete. The block museum was a big project, and I had so much fun building it. A real tour requires so much time, stopping at all the highlights and telling the story behind every peculiar block, like a guide in a real museum would do. But you followed me since step 1 and you already know the struggle and the adventures that got me here. So, thank you all for watching and being with me all this time. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, that's Superboy Llama down there. What are you saying, buddy? Oh, you're right. I'm supposed to show the forest biome right behind the block museum. We are currently above the coral gallery. I'm about to turn this whole area into a huge zoo. You don't want to miss it. So subscribe, stay tuned, and see you soon.